Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trenopole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Cincinnati Bengals, but my wife sabotaged the show again. Yeah, We got Buccaneer stuff over there. We got a hat over there. All kinds of Buccaneer stuff. But anyway, this is a Cincinnati sports show, but we gotta give it to the Buccaneers. It's good. Very, very happy for them. Very happy. That's good. All right, guys, you found the show. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You want to put the link up? Yeah. Okay. Smash that thumbs up. I am up to 807. Well, actually down. I lost one. I was at 808. Now I'm at 807 subscribers. But I appreciate every single one of you. Now, if you guys are looking for the show, it's just on YouTube, and it's just on my Strawberry Ice page today, not on Bengals Nation or Bearcats Country. So just if you want to find the show, you got to come to my YouTube channel to watch it. Sports with Strawberry Ice. We'll be putting the link up live here soon, so you guys can do some live video chats. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. Okay. The Bengals have hired a new defensive line coach. His name is Marlon Hobby. He's 54, and after 4 impressive seasons with Miami and Jacksonville, when he was there, they were called Saxonville. So I think it's a pretty good hire. I think he's a very good defensive line coach. Now, this is some quotes from Hobby. He got to talk to Mike Brown. He says, Mr. Brown is a straightforward. It's really clear what he is looking for in his coaches and what he expects. That's what any coach would want right there. Straightforward to the point. Hobby goes on to say, I got a chance to spend some time with Zach and Lou. It was really positive. I get a good feel for these guys and where they're trying to get with the defense. It was very good. And Mike Brown was outstanding. So, anyway, those are some good quotes from Hobby, the new defensive line coach for the Bengals. Yes, Crown, the Buccaneer, you missed, I guess you missed the beginning of the show. My wife has sabotaged the show, and she has hung up some Buccaneer stuff on there for me. So, yeah, so that's on my wife. She did it. But I'm glad you noticed. All right, we got some Reds news here. Now, everybody keeps freaking out because John Heyman, who's the one that keeps putting this stuff out there, that the Reds are going to trade everybody. They haven't traded anybody except Iglesias. That's the only guy they've traded. Now, he tweeted out today, the Reds are telling teams now that they intend to hold on to Luis Castillo. They tested the waters on Castillo and others, but understand that they have an excellent shot to win the division as is. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. I'm like, even if we don't add anybody, we got a very good shot of winning this division. And I don't understand why they would want to trade him. Doesn't make any sense. See, Beetle, I knew you liked the background. I knew you would. All right. A couple other things. Ohio State, not really surprising. Justin Fields has officially declared that he's going to the draft. And some good news for University of Cincinnati Bearcat football. They've hired defensive coordinator Mike Trussell, a longtime assistant at Michigan State and a former UC coach under Mark D'Antonio. Luke and Mike were on the same coaching staff at Ohio State when they won the national championship back in the early 2000s. So those are some things we can discuss. You guys can get on the video chat. It is page on the YouTube channel. Is that correct here? Yes. All right. So it's pinned to the top of the page on the YouTube channel. So you guys can discuss that. We can discuss K Coop. What's up, buddy? I think you're new. Welcome to the show. Let's see here. Oh, we need some Florida State stuff up. You think so, Crown? Yeah. She'd like that too, but yeah. Buccaneer stuff is enough. This, like I said, it's a Bengals, Bearcat, Reds show. Hello. Right, the other beat Bucks, right? Exactly. All right, guys. If you're wondering, Mike and Jeremy, most time join me on Mondays. Mike is unable to. Jeremy is stuck at work. So you guys just got me for today. But I do want to talk about some of the playoff action yesterday. And did you guys see the Browns game? The where they fumbled the ball through the end zone? Where was I'm not a Browns fan. I mean, yeah, where was it targeting? Exactly for the helmet shot. I mean, I posted on the ice bar. I was sitting there watching the game with a Browns fan, which I was. And Dennis blew me up and said, "You lost your Bengals card. You can't root for the Browns." I didn't really say I was rooting for myself. I was sitting here watching a game with a Browns fan is what I said I was doing. But getting back to that game, I don't know how they missed that call. It was lowered his helmet, hit him right in the head, knocked the ball out, and fumbled the ball to the end zone. I'm not sure how they missed that. And the silly thing is everything that's reviewable, that's not a reviewable play. I don't understand how it's not, I don't get that. It's just, I don't know. It's just things like that that drive me nuts. Or if you can fix it, fix it. Now, I'm glad they stopped doing the pass interference thing that they were doing last year, because that was a little much. But stuff like that, you got to get that right, because I mean, hey, the Browns, if they get the ball, at the 1 yard line or whatever, and for that's targeting, and they score, man, that's a whole different ball game. But my point is that if you look at what the Browns did, the biggest thing that they did in last offseason, other than hire a new coach, was they got 2 new tackles. They fixed their offensive line. So, and I've said this over and over again right here on the show, that the Bengals can fix their offensive line with, a couple free agent signees, maybe a draft pick, and we're set to go. Hopefully they sign some free agents, and then we could draft Jamar Chase or something like that. That would be great. And then a lot of things can be fixed, and we can roll on like the Browns did. All right, K-Cup. The K-Cup? Corp, whatever. Clearly the Chiefs had a better team. Well, clearly, yeah. No, I'm not. No, I am no means saying that the Browns would have won the game if they had gotten that touchdown. But you never know. It would have been different. I mean, because Kansas City. Now, if this is the Bengals, and the Bengals kicker missed 2 field goals or an extra point and a field goal, we would have lost the game. But nope, Kansas City, they come through and they win. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen to the Bengals. How about the tackling on Patty Holmes, that one that knocked him out of the game? You think it was a bad tackle? I mean, I thought it was a good hit. He had him around his neck, but I mean, it's not an illegal hit, and his head hit the ground. That's what knocked him out. So, I mean, now one thing I'll say this too is that 4th down call, it's not the same play, but the same call that Luke Fickell made. Well, not 4th down, 3rd down in the Peach Bowl. And Andy Reid made it, with a backup quarterback. Now, if Luke Fickell makes it, everybody's going, "Oh my goodness, what a gutsy call. What a great call by the coach. That was great." Kind of like what they're doing with Andy Reid. But since he didn't make it, all we hear is, "Man, they should have ran the ball. They should have ran the ball. They should have ran the ball." So, that's where I'm always like, everybody's really good after the fact of saying what you should have done and how you could have done it. And Natty, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
Let me bring you up here. What's going on, Natty?
I think the Browns are a perfect example of how the Bengals should approach the offseason, but the Bengals aren't really keen on signing interior offensive linemen or higher priced interior offensive linemen. So I don't know how that's going to work out during the offseason.
Are you talking about the Browns? Because you're cutting in and out again. I think you're talking about the Browns, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're just cutting in and out a lot.
Okay. I was just saying the Browns are a perfect example of how the Bengals should go into free agency.
I can't hear you. I think it's my
Oh, there
internet
we go.
again. Can we fix something real quick, Jen? I have to unplug the router. I'll knock the show off there, won't it? Because they're cutting in and out when they're calling. I can't hear them. And we'll try to work on that, Natty. If I unplug my router, I might knock the show off the air. So that would be kind of bad. You come back on. Let's try it again. Hang on, let me get Dallas off here. All right, Natty. Let's try it again.
Hey, can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is that better? Am I still cutting in and out?
You're still coming in. I think it's my internet again, dude.
Oh, okay. All right, Jeff. Well, I'll leave, man. Thanks for having me on the show, though.
Go ahead, talk. I think I figured it out here. Go ahead, talk. Oh, he left. I don't know. All right, Natty, if you want to call back, try it one more time. Let's see. I think it's for some reason it's the router. When I don't unplug the router and plug it back in, it does this. And I should have done it before I started. But I didn't. So anyway, but yeah, I think Natty was saying his point was that's a clear indication of what a good offseason can do and what will happen and what will help, the Bengals moving forward. You get that offensive line, you because I look at it this way. If the Bengals can sign 2 offensive linemen and say they draft Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith from Alabama, you draft one of those with your number 1 pick. And then you have your second round pick. You probably can get a pretty good pass rusher in that second round. You do all that, you have a very good chance of fixing the problems with the Bengals. Now, it all comes down to coaching after that, as if Zach Taylor and Armadillo can actually coach. And I have a little more faith in Zach than I do Armadillo. But that's all. Well, we have to wait and see because, Zach's only won, 6 games in 2 years? It's not very good. So there is no reason why Zach would not be on the hot seat next year. His seat's got to be on fire because you got to make the playoffs. He has to make the playoffs next year, I think, to keep his job, especially if they do all the stuff that I think they're going to do. And it was just interesting hearing what Hobby said about Mike Brown, how he's straightforward. They liked him, and he's very, there's just interesting things. Now I know he just got hired by him, so you're going to say, oh, he's supposed to say nice stuff about him. Well, don't always have to, but he did, and it's just. I don't think it's as bad as everybody says it is. I think they have made mistakes. Obviously they made mistakes in the drafting and their hiring. So it just depends on it could get fixed really easily, or we could go through another season next year. But I really would like to see the Bengals try to sign 2 offensive linemen, draft a wide receiver, and draft a defensive end at the second round. Now, the Cincinnati Bearcats, I think it's pretty well known now that Luke Fickell is not going to leave. We've hired a DC from Michigan State. So he left Michigan State to come here. That's pretty good. Those are good things for the Bearcats. Those are things that happen to big-time programs. I'm not saying UC is a big-time program yet, but they're working on it. They're getting there. You have to have consistent years, back-to-back of winning years to develop anything close to what Ohio State or Alabama or any of these guys have. Not saying that UC will ever get to that height, but that's what you have to do. You have to consistently get the right recruits, get the best coaches in here. And if you lose coaches, you got to turn around and get the right ones. Hey, Dennis, what's up? Where's Jeremy at? Jeremy is stuck at work, buddy. That's what I said at the beginning of the show. Jeremy is stuck at work, and Mike is not available to do the show. So hopefully Jeremy will be on the show tomorrow. But it is a Strawberry Ice show, because it was just me for the longest time. So, but anyway, hopefully Jeremy will come back tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on. Chad Henne threw at INT and then came back the next drive and won the game. Goat for the backup, right? Now that tells you right there, that's a reason to have a good backup. I mean, right there, that gives you a very good reason why you should have a good backup, just in case something like that happens. I mean, there's Crowns and Brandon Allen to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I doubt that. Well, I think Brandon Allen will be at the Super Bowl if he's Joe Burrow's backup. Now that's the thing is, there's gonna be a lot of backups that the Bengals could get. I think that are pretty good, and I would personally like them to sign somebody. I've said Fitzmagic. You got James Winston out there, and there's lots of pretty good veteran backups that could be, a good plug-in for if Joe Burrow isn't ready day one, which I think he will be. I've been saying that for a while. I think he will be. But let's see. Dallas, all these iconic dudes who are 14 years vets in the NFL who haven't been anything but backups. Right. But that's the thing. You need backups. You need veteran backups. That's what I said. I've said this before. You can't get enough talent. You can't stop stacking talent. You always have to stack talent. That's where you guys get out there and you say, we got to get rid of Bobby Hart. We got to get rid of Fred Johnson. I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want them to start. I want them to be backups, and that's the thing. These teams, you have to stack talent to be good because you have injuries. You have, guys don't play good. You got, you always have to create competition. So, what do you got, Crown?
He was talking about Tom Brady and Josh Allen in Super Bowl. When you said Brady and Allen.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, Jennifer. I think you meant Brandon Allen. Sorry. Josh Allen. Sorry. I got you, Crown. Sorry, sometimes I try to read and get my own thoughts, and I get confused very easily. Yes. Okay. You think Brady and Josh Allen in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
My wife likes that. She likes anybody with as long as it's the Buccaneers. She doesn't care who it is.
That's right.
But yeah, the Bills look pretty good, and that's another thing. I mean, the Bills. It took them 3 years. They had 3 years with a rookie quarterback who you got to give Allen all the credit in the world. He has stepped up and played a lot better than he did. His accuracy's gotten better, which is very hard to do. Most times when guys come in the NFL, it's hard to fix their accuracy. I don't know why, but they usually can't fix it. Dallas said,
I do not agree.
Wife does not agree with you. Buccaneers got lucky yesterday.
No, they did not.
Talent, baby. Look, I told you guys Friday, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. It is hard to beat any team 3 times in a row. And the Buccaneers defense, I mean, I'll put this way. The Buccaneers defense is the reason they won that game. Their defense was on point, and they kept them in that game and made a couple plays. And Brady made enough plays to win like he always does. And Brady does not look 44 or 46 or how the heck old he is. 42? 42. 40, are you sure?
I think so.
All right, wife says it's 43. Final answer, 43 by Mrs. Ice. All right, Nathan, our D-line will be better next year. I think so. I think just because of our defensive coach. I mean, DJ Reader is excited about Hobby, whatever his name is, being the coach. I think that's good too with the offensive line coach we got. Mixon's excited about that. These guys on the team are excited about the coaches that we have coming in, which is good. Because you say, oh, well, they will say that just because they're Bengals and all that stuff. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to say anything. But for them to come out and say that they're very happy with it, excited about it, yeah, happy birthday to T. We should all sing to him. But yeah, I love that part. I love that the guys are coming out and they're excited about the coaches coming in and excited about the possibilities. Now, like I said, we got to get the talent. You got to get the talent. Actually, I'm kidding. Saints offense was horrible. Okay, Crown. What do you got, buddy? Our D-line can't be any worse. That is true. One thing, look at these playoff teams. Most of them are getting pressure with 4 guys. I mean, they do blitz, but most of the time they get pressure with 4 guys, and that's what the Bengals need to do. Landon, man, I can't wait for Reds baseball. Derek and I, dude, I would love to talk about it, but like I said, they're not doing anything. A pitchers and catchers report, I think the middle to beginning of February. So hopefully we'll be able to talk some more Reds then. But it looks like they're going to keep everybody, which is great. I mean, I'm hoping they at least sign a shortstop. I would love them to sign Gregorius. That would be nice. Let's see here, Matthew. Did you see that Wade Phillips is coming out of retirement? Jerry Pratt called him I saw. Yeah, I posted that on Bengals Nation. I said I would love for the Bengals to fire Armadillo and hire him. Well, I don't see that happen. Somebody posted on her and said, "Oh, he should be the coach." Like, nah, man. Wade Phillips has never been a good head coach. He's been given multiple shots, and he's never been a good coach. He's a great defensive coach. Great defensive coach. Natural. Browns are an example of how to address the O-line. Yes, that's what I thought you were trying to say, Natty. So sorry about the internet, man. It's sometimes that happens. But yes, I agree. That's what I'm saying. If you get that, if we get Tunney and the right tackle from Carolina, Morton, dude, that would fix our line big time. And then we can go draft a toy. We can go draft George Chase. We can go draft somebody else. Dallas, the Buccaneers won't beat Aaron. MVP Packers going to take the NFC, though. She's just shaking her head. I'm not sure how you do that, Dallas, but you got her to be quiet. Now she's laughing. It's going to be a tough game. Oh, it's going to be a tough game, yeah. That's for sure. We're stuck with Lou, though. Yeah, we're stuck with Lou. I mean, I don't, they're already making hires of the defensive line coach. He's already talked to Lou and Zach, so yeah. That ship has sailed. Lou staying, Zach staying. Our coaching staff is set. So I don't think, it could be good. I'm glad it's set. I wish I would have got rid of Lou, but at least it's all set and they can start concentrating on the draft and free agency and moving forward to next year. And that's the biggest thing they got to do. Do you think Burrow will be back week 1? Yes, I do. I think Burrow will be back week 1. Reason being, he's already done with the surgery. Like he said, he's already done. He's through the hard part. He's walking around, no knee brace, no limp. He just got to get his knee strengthened up. And if Carson Palmer came back from a knee injury, and he came back game one, and he got hurt in the playoffs. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not guaranteeing it, but my personal opinion, yes, I think he'll be back. All right, Natty, now we have less than 7 months till next season. I know, I can't wait, dude. I love football. I love it so much. I'm watching these games going, the Browns, look, I'm happy for the Brown fan base because I understand they went through all kinds of crap. They have, since they've been back, I think they've been to the playoffs once, and watching them and just going, man, that should be the Bengals, man. Watching all these different Browns fans going nuts and everything. And same thing with the Bills. I'm happy for them, but it's man, that could be the Bengals. That should be the Bengals next year. At least I hope so. So we'll see. All right. Carl Allen versus Tom in the Super Bowl. You are the second one to say that. I think there's a very good chance that's going to happen, but we will see. All right, Keith, let's try this, man. I've had kind of a hard time with the internet, so hopefully I can hear you. But what's up, buddy?
How you doing, Jeff?
Good, what's going on, bro?
I agree with you on Wade Phillips. I'd love to see him here. You're spot on, man. Unbelievable DC, horrible head coach. He lost me. I don't know if you remember this or not, but he's the reason why Buffalo got beat against Tennessee. He started Rob Johnson. He hadn't played him
Yes.
all year. Doug Flutie took him to playoffs. He starts Rob Johnson. They get beat. But anyway, I wanted to get some feedback on the thing I text you. Now, they're saying that the Reds aren't trying to trade Castillo. But it's funny that every week I see where they're trying to trade Castillo. Really don't want to see him go, but I want you to think about this.
Right.
I love Joey Votto, but Joey Votto, much like Jay Bruce was, his contract is the big albatross right now, and he's not producing. The Yankees are the one team that might be willing to take on his contract to get Castillo. Thus far, the stuff I've seen, they're really not offering what I would trade for Castillo. They've offered, I saw Gleyber Torres or Clint Frazier. Torres, you could plug in at short. Frazier is an outfielder. He doesn't even start for them. And we got a ton of outfielders. But if you give me Jason Dominguez, I don't know if you've seen him. He's 17-year-old. He's an athletic freak. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
I've heard of him, yeah.
300 pounds, switch hitter. But you give me Jason Dominguez, you take on Votto's contract, that frees up over $100 million over the next 4 years. You could re-sign Bauer, you could sign Gregorius, or possibly make a deal for Trevor Story and sign him.
Yeah, that is an idea. I'd hate up Luis Castillo, but it does open up a lot more money. Thing being, I don't think do it because they've already said they're not trading. Or one this tweeted out saying they're not trading anybody now. Very interesting thing. It got me sound, to be honest. I know you sent me a big list about it. And I read part of it. Chance to read all of it. I don't know if the Yankees would take Votto though, because he's declining, and he's still owed what? I think we owe another 4 years.
He's owed $25 million the next 3 years and $20 million in 2024. Then you've got a total
of 2 years?
3. 4.
3.
2021, 2022, 2023, $25 million each year. 2024, $20 million. And then Castillo is $4.5 million for the next 3. So you're freeing up over $100 million in salaries there.
Yeah. No, I like that. I do. I think that's good. And Howard, though, it depends on how much do we want, because he said that he only signed a 1-year contract. Now he hadn't signed anything yet. And you're saying we could use that money, we could sign him, we could sign Gregorius, or maybe trade for Story, which I think there's anything wrong in your thinking. I just don't know where you can get back for, under that. I don't know if I don't know how much money he wants.
Well, that's why I said they can keep Clint Frazier. They can keep Gleyber Torres. Give me Jason Dominguez. He's 17 years old. He's probably 2-3 years away. Although, if you've seen clips of him swinging the bat, he may not be. But you're still going to have him on a sweetheart contract for 2 or 3 years till he's arbitration eligible. But my main thing is this. Don't get me wrong. No way I give up Castillo for anybody they offer unless they take Votto in the package. They take Votto's salary in the package.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so I had to take my head off because I'm getting all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm hearing you, but it's kind of need a little bit. So I mean, yeah, I think that would be a good trade. I mean, I mean, I don't have anything to go against it. Other than I don't know if it'll happen, but I think, I mean, yeah, you can get rid of those guys, open that contract up, and get the young players that you're talking about from the Yankees. You set you up for a while.
Oh, definitely. And here again, like I said, I don't think it would happen, but we all know the only team that would possibly take on that contract in order to get Castillo,
Right.
and obviously they want Castillo. They've tried to trade for him. They tried to trade for him when he was a Marlin. They've tried to trade with the Reds for him the last 2 years. They're the only team that you might be able to unload Votto's contract on.
I mean, the thing is, I think they've tried to unload his contract before, but we didn't have any young player that anybody wanted. Now we do. So, I mean, that is a very good option. And the only thing is just losing Castillo, because I think Castillo is really, really, really good. But it would be nice. And I don't know about you, I think we had this conversation about Votto. I actually think Votto, I don't want to say earned his money, but he's not like getting overpaid for it, for what he's done.
He's overpaid for his production. Here's the thing, and don't get me wrong, I love Joey Votto. He's one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen. He's right there with Joe Morgan and Frank Thomas as far as judging of the strike zone, being able to take close pitches. But 1 year could be a fluke. 2 years is a trend. 3 years, there's something wrong. There's one of two things wrong, in my opinion. Either he has a visual problem that either he's too proud to get corrected or the Reds have done nothing about, or it's age. And I just don't see him. I mean, it's weird because you see the flashes. You see the little spurts where you go, God, maybe he's going to be the old Joey Votto. Then it's gone. And I think, Branch Rickey hit a great thing. I'd rather trade a player a year too early than a year too late.
Yes. Yeah, that has a lot of what I think the Bengals did too, where we've said they traded AJ and Gino and Andy, all these guys 3 years. Yeah, you just I agree. And that's what good teams do. I mean, I hate this team, the Tweety Birds, but they do it all the time. They get rid of guys before they go back. And that's the one the Reds don't do. So if they're rid of Votto, as far as that goes, yeah, because like you said, you see spurts of what he was, but nothing consistent. He's 30-something years old, and things start slowing down, and you're just not as you were when you were 20.
Well, bottom line is, if you're making $25 million a year, you should be hitting 30 home runs a year. You should be driving 100 runs a year. You should be walking 100 times a year. You should be hitting 300.
Right.
Joey's hitting, in a good year, 250 now. He's hitting 10, 15 bombs. Still walking.
Yeah.
Still getting on base. But
yeah, but not the 30. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was 3 years ago.
2017.
He had homers, almost 100 runs knocked, and he hit around 300. But he hasn't got to that since then. And the problem is the Reds are running now, and he's on the downcline of his career. So yeah, to get somebody to take his contract, you'd have to throw in somebody like Kessel to make that happen.
Right. And like I said, the one team, they've done it before. If they want somebody, they've got the money to do it. That would be the Yankees. And they've got the DH in the American League.
Right. It's weird. I'm always surprised that Bell, I think maybe once or twice, Votto DH last year. We had a DH. And then he barely ever even used Votto at DH. Because did you come on here and say that move Suarez to third base, move Moose or Suarez to first, and Moose to second base?
That was me. Votto's defense has slipped. Suarez defense has slipped. Move Suarez to first, Moose over to his original position at third, bring Senzel in from center field, put him in his original position at second, go sign you a shortstop.
Yeah, the only thing is Senzel is he gets hurt. He can't make it a whole season, man. And so that's my only concern with that is if he's in the outfield, we at least have to replace him. If he's our spaceman, then you got to move Moose back, and then you got to switch it all back around, I guess.
Well, that's
That'd
why
be my
I
only
think
concern with it.
that's why I think Jonathan India probably makes the roster this year because you
Yeah.
can play him at second. You can play him at second, third. He'd
Right.
kind of be like who's the guy we traded from Indiana? Utility guy last year. God, I can't even think of his name. But kind of be like him.
Not Farmer.
No, lefty hitter.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't name either.
I can't remember his name to save my life.
That happens to me a lot on here. I'll start talking about something and then somebody's name. So, but yeah, I mean, we got that. I would love that to happen, but the way it looks, they're not going to do anything. Which, I mean, I think they're going to sign a short. I mean, that's been a lot of talk recently throughout the offseason that they will sign a short. I mean, we're not getting what's his face from Cleveland. He getting Mets, but if we get Gregorius or Story, that at least fixes the tough spot. And the other thing I think Bell needs to do is play Akiyama every day and let him lead off. Screwing with the guy.
Why did you sign the guy? That's what I don't understand. You sign the guy to a big contract, then you don't play him, and then when he does go out and get 2 hits, you jerk him in the 6th inning.
Yes, exactly. That's what was driving me nuts. I'm like, you signed him to lead off and to play every day. He didn't play opening day last year.
Right. I mean,
and then when he did, then he's batting 6th. I'm like, what?
You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing them to that team because you can't. There's no team you can compare to that team. But they're built a lot like the 75, 76 Reds. They went out and they got the starting pitching. Now, the difference was Reds got solid starters and unbelievable bullpen, the Big Red Machine. This team had unbelievable starters and a somewhat solid bullpen. But you had the guys, and you still have the guys, where much like the Big Red Machine, if your big guys aren't hitting, you can still win games by manufacturing runs. But David Bell
didn't manage like that. That's the problem. Yes, no, it didn't manage like that. That's what drove us with him.
That's a what?
David Bell didn't manage like that. That's what drove me nuts about him.
I mean, you both.
They would swing for the fences too much.
I mean, you both. I mean, I think they've got the perfect setup if they realign, move guys around like I think they should. You could hit Akiyama first. You have him, Senzel hitting second behind him. You got 2 guys at the top of the order that can run. Now you set those guys in motion. You're going to have whoever's hitting third, whether it's Moustakas or Votto or Suarez or Castellano, they're going to be seeing a lot of fastballs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why I mean, Castellanos or not Castellanos, Nick Cablastos, not Castellanos. You know what I'm talking about, the right fielder last year. Had him hitting second a lot last year. That's the new style of baseball, and it's to get him up there as much as they can, because the road flips over faster. I guess that's their thinking. But to rallies going and to manufacture, like you said, you need to get the guys off of the order, let them go out there, cause as much as they can. At least just we need guys to get on base. We didn't have that enough last year. We're guys in scoring position, 4 guys down in the lower part of the lineup to hit them. I mean, look, Chris Welch said this a lot. He said a solo home run must be a rally killer.
It is.
You run with one part, there's nobody on. Like, the next 3 guys get out. They're like, all right, you're back out. It's not as if you're kind of running around the bases and putting pressure on them to make the right play. That I think wears teams out more than a solo shot every other inning.
Well, it's not only that, you're making the pitcher work. If Castellano comes up with 2 guys out and the pitcher got him out on the 3rd pitch both times. Now Castellano hits a home run. Next guy out pops out. he threw 8 pitches. But first guy walks, second guy takes a few pitches, bunts him over. You're making him work. Plus, you're putting it in his head. You're making him work mentally because he's got to worry about that runner.
Yeah, I mean, you get space. Just that guy's there, and he has caught the guy at first base and to the batter. It's just more mental concentration things that like I said, that wears him out. And he throws the ball over to first base a couple of those. Maybe he'll throw it to right field line. Who knows what will happen? But if you're never on base, it doesn't matter. you can't make anything happen.
If you're on base and you never send the guy, you never have the threat. Yeah, I just don't understand David Bell's managerial style. I mean, that worked in 1970 with Earl Weaver and the Orioles. Sit back and wait on the 3-run homer. But Earl Weaver had 3 or 4 Hall of Famers on that team. And he had 3 guys that won 20 games in a starting rotation.
Right.
And
that's the thing that kills me with the Reds is actually have the pitching. Even if we don't, they still got pitch a really good pitcher. They still probably pitching in the division. I mean, because the Cubs, oh goodness, what the Japanese pitcher? They just traded him. So that was the best pitcher last. Finished second. Hugh Darvish, yes, they just traded him, and he finished second behind Bauer. They let one more go. I mean, they let a lot of guys. I mean, this division can be won by the Reds with the team they have right now. I would like them to add. And they're like you said with the big red machine. They hit home runs, but though manufactured runs, like you said, you did it with you had at the top and you had at the bottom of the order. Top of the order, you had Rose, Morgan. Bottom of the order, you had Concepcion.
Geronimo.
In between was Bauer. So that's the panel lineup, which is what Ben tried to do, I guess, with putting Akiyama.
Well, and the other thing is, Jeff,
you need him up top to get on base.
The other thing is, Jeff, that's the difference between a 1-run inning and maybe a 3 or 4-run inning. You got those guys on in front of your big boppers. If you don't have them on, just like Chris Wells said, that solo home run, really, look at Tom Browning. Tom Browning made a career of giving up solo home runs. He didn't get beat much because he didn't walk anybody. He didn't give up a lot of singles and doubles. He gave up home runs, but they were solo shots.
Yeah. And he wasn't a strikeout guy. He put the ball in play. So his defense had it on their toes all the time.
And he worked fast. But I guess the most illustrative thing you can say about David Bell is this, and I'm asking anybody out there, any of you guys know an answer to this question, you tell me. In 2019, Raisel Iglesias, the closer, had 12 losses. Tell me the last major league manager, because I can't think of one, that ran an ineffective closer out enough times to get 12 losses.
Right. Yeah, Iglesias, well, I'll put it to you this way. Where I think Bell screwed Iglesias up, Iglesias, to me, was a 1-inning pitcher. You get him in there for 3 outs like they used to do back in the day, and he most of the time would come through for you. But David Bell wants to bring in your closer in the 6th, 7th inning for whenever this is. I don't think Iglesias really was built for that. I think he proved over the 2 years that Bell managed him that he couldn't do it, but Bell kept up there. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? I mean, if I could see it, why can't you see it? So I mean, that's what Iglesias, I think, had all those losses.
I agree with part of that, but here's another thing with Iglesias that to me, he's not really, to me, I've always said, I think he's structured more to be a starter than a reliever because of this. And I've seen other relievers do this, and you have too. It seems like he cannot start an inning clean and pitch effectively. If he comes in at the top of the 9th and there's nobody on, it's almost like he has to put 2 guys on to be effective,
Right.
to find the plate. It's almost like he can't pitch good unless he has pressure. And you can't pitch like that all the time.
Well, one thing about him being a starter, he was a starter, and I don't think his arm could take it because I think it was a starter the first 2 years, but he kept getting hurt. So I think that's the reasons that he went into the bullpen. The arm just couldn't handle the innings for some reason of a starting pitcher, because the bullpen, I don't know him being injured as much as he was when he was an opening day years ago.
I think you're thinking of Chapman. I think you're thinking of Chapman.
No, Iglesias was. Iglesias, he started on opening day of, I don't know, 2014 or 15 or 16, somewhere.
One of those years when we had guys, nobody knew who they were in the starting rotation.
Yeah. When nobody knew who any of them were, Iglesias was one of our stars. The Chapman, he never, I mean, not in the major way. He always, as soon as here, we needed a closer, and he became the closer. And he never wanted to go back to starting.
I like those guys like Terry Forster, or not Terry Forster, but Deuce Gossage back in the day. I'm coming in, I'm throwing you fastballs, I'm going to be around the plate. If you can hit it, good luck. I like those guys.
Zach Crown says no. I'm not sure what he's saying no to. Maybe I was wrong about something. Who knows? I don't know. But I appreciate you, Keith. Got anything else, buddy?
Who you like? I'm saying KC and Green Bay. That's what I've said all year long, and I'm sticking with it.
Well,
just hope Mahomes is healthy enough to play against Buffalo.
With my wife over there and with all the Buccaneers stuff, I'm contractually to say Buccaneers. But we'll see what happens, though.
It's funny. I got into a big argument last night on my OSU site, and it was funny because the same guy who was bitching a couple weeks ago about Alabama playing a cupcake schedule is a Browns fan, and he got mad because I said the AFC North was garbage, and it was. They played interdivision. Ravens had the easiest schedule. Steelers had second easiest. Browns had third easiest. Bengals had fourth easiest. And I broke it down to him. So let's say you split inside your division. That's 3 wins.
Right.
Now you play the NFC East. That's 4 more. That gets you to 7. And all of them played the Jags and the Texans. That gets you to 9 right there. So I said this all year long, and you know I did about Pittsburgh. Overrated, played a crappy schedule. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy got mad talking about, well, that's speculation. You're speculating. And I brought up to him, I said, aren't you the same guy that was talking about the cupcake schedule that Alabama played? Hey, that's all I've got, man.
All right, shit, Keith. Thanks, man.
Later, guys.
Hey. All right, let's see here. Landon, you got a question. Let's see here. What do you think about Michael Lorenzen being a starter? I think it's a good move. I think I think they should definitely explore because they're going to have to find a 5th starter, maybe a 4th starter if Wilson is not that good of a starting pitcher for us like he wasn't last year. So it's definitely a move that I think the Reds should try. I know Michael Lorenzen has come out and said that he would like to go back to being a starting pitcher. So anyway, we will see. Natural says Big Ben should retire. I agree with him, but I don't think he's going to. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, guys. I think I'm going to roll on out of here. Hopefully you guys will join me again tomorrow, and we can discuss some more Bengals topics, Reds topics, and all that stuff. Maybe Jeremy D will join me on the show. Now, let's get to how I usually end the show here. Let's see here. You can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports of Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok is mostly me and Jeremy just being silly. And I post a lot of those things on the Ice Bar. That's another group that I run. It is a show group. It's just fun. We talk about sports, beer, the show, whatever. Another group that I like to recommend is Ohio State Bucknuts. It's another one that I'm live streaming on. So I appreciate Kip and those guys letting me do it. And I will be putting the show on a podcast later on tonight. Give me a 5-star review. Like, rate, and review. I would greatly appreciate. I am on BeanPod. I am on Apple Podcast. Pretty much wherever you get your podcasts, I am there. And YouTubers. I'm up to 807. I'm down. I was at 808. Now I'm at 807. So let's try to keep that rolling. Try to get it to 700 as fast as we can. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow night. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!